Well, let's go back. Let's go a little backwards here. All right, let's time travel a bit if we could. Even though I mean I know we can't, but let's go back 4 years ago. A little bit more than 4 years ago. When a football player decided first to sit on a bench during the national anthem, and when called out about it, consulted a veteran and decided that the most respectful way to protest, to bring awareness to a situation that still goes on, he decided to take a knee, making him public enemy number one for like years after. Like I said, this was almost 4 years ago, and people still fucking hate him and boycott Nike. It's kind of weird because I don't know. I was back then. My argument was always that taking a knee has always been a respectful thing. The gesture of taking a knee is a sign of respect, in pretty much every form of it,
including in football.
Yeah.
When someone's hurt, you take a knee.
People take knees when like realistically, if you want to talk about like, oh, you got to honor the troops that have died, taking a knee is a fucking good way to do it.
That's lowering yourself
exactly
to a cause.
And the thing is, let's be real, it was mostly white people that were shouting that out because they didn't want to yell like, we don't care about black people getting shot by cops. That we don't care about that.
There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. They always do the same thing. What about black on black crime? Oh, more white people get killed by cops than... Yeah, but how many of those white people are innocent? How many of them are unarmed, non-threatening? I've seen white guys in standoff holding guns, aiming them at police during standoffs and not being shot.
Everything around it to make sure he gets subdued.
So these white people that were up in arms about that shit, I think they were forgetting one thing. And the reason why they were forgetting it was because at the same time that they were crying, like, oh, you're disrespecting our troops. What about the soldiers who died? Whose picture was floating around during that time? They brought up an old name. But whose picture was floating around back then to try to guilt trip fucking Kaepernick supporters? Pat Tillman.
Yeah, yep. Hey, wait, what? Yeah, that's right.
These old white people that were so up in arms about trying to make it a disrespect to the troops.
Negative.
And veterans. Shut up, Corn. This isn't a comedy moment here. They were only picturing white veterans when they were thinking about that. That's real. None of them were passing around pictures of any fallen black soldiers. Not one. And I'm pretty sure that's who Cap ended up talking to, was a black veteran. Shout out to B-Rob. Thank you for your service. It's just weird that they were, you know what I mean? So we fast forward to 4 years. He's still hated. People are getting up in arms once again because they can't go get a haircut. Claiming, what are they claiming? That their civil rights are being violated? Yeah, infringed upon. They kept throwing the Constitution out like that means something. Now, I'm not saying it means nothing, but I'm just saying that all men created equal part wasn't intended for all men when it was
especially written. Not at the time.
Yeah. And also remembering that there was, hell, 100 years after that less than 100 years after that Constitution was signed, white people were again up in arms, seceding from their own country and declaring war against their own country because their rights were being infringed upon, the right to own human beings. And now the country's in a different kind of state of emergency. That's fucking weird. We've seen 2 states of emergency being declared in the same year.
At the same time.
Like simultaneous emergencies. They're telling people if you're going to protest, social distance while you're protesting. They're wearing masks and shit. Because a video goes around of someone's right to live being infringed upon. by someone with a shit-eating grin on his face while he's doing it the whole time, on camera, being made aware of that he's killing someone. How many times do you have to yell, "I can't breathe"? Now you're a little brother, so you probably heard that. You probably used that one a lot when you could breathe.
And there is a difference when you truly can't breathe because of force, dude. There's a difference. Like when you actually hear in the George Floyd video at the point where he starts screaming for his mom, when he damn sure well knows his mom is nowhere around. Like that, they tell you in how a lot of people that, now, especially nowadays, understand MMA, and the first thing that they say when they have someone in a rear naked choke, someone always jumps in and tells how quickly you can actually make someone pass completely out.
Yeah.
And then they tell you majority of them usually tell you shortly after how quickly it is to kill someone. And it's usually only like 20 seconds of a fucking squeeze to knock them cold.
Yeah.
So that's one of those, if you're sitting on someone's neck in a kneed position for fucking 10 minutes.
Putting your full weight onto him while fucking 2 or 3 other people are holding him down.
Oh, that's disgusting. And honestly, the fucked up thing is that dude killed multiple people before him as well. Like, thank God the video finally came out against that guy, because how many more people would he have fucking killed?
Yeah. And the fact that every time this happens, we were talking about earlier, it gets the authorities try to sweep it under the rug. They treat it as just like a PR disaster that people just need to get over. And they keep pretending it's just an isolated incident. But how many times does it need to be caught on tape?
Like, at a certain point, it's almost like they turn it into when they say, just like when we accidentally bomb the wrong people in a different country. It's just casualties of war.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up that our own people are getting turned into a form of casualties of war. Yeah. At the end of the day, we all are Americans. We all stand for the same shit. Like, how are you going to take away someone's right that you obviously wouldn't want your rights taken away in the exact same manner?
Yeah. And I think that's why so many people are angry, because let's be real. The fact that there's such a deep pool of, just over the last 4 or 5 years of, and I'm just isolating it, yes, just to one race at this moment. The fact that we have such a deep pool of random black people with no gang affiliations, no drug ties, nothing on them, completely non-threatening. Some of them fucking children and women. And most of the time they're being shot down. And I think that's really why this is the one that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
You can explain shooting someone in a split second. You can't explain what he did.
Yeah. You can't, exactly. There's no logical way of trying to, like, okay, even if the guy might be dangerous and might have been acting crazy, even if he was on fucking PCP, which he wasn't, by the way. But even if he was, if a guy says he can't breathe, wouldn't you at least let off a little bit? Ease up on the neck. You've already got him cuffed. You've already got him on the ground. And you've got help holding him down.
Now, here's a story that leads on to, it truly is, when you really look at it, a situation where black people are getting fucked up more so over just race. Not because of what they're doing, but off of the race itself. So it's a situation where, I'll give you an example, and the person. I'll give you the details later. I don't know if the person wants shit coming out, but realistically, it's a Mexican dude. It's all fucked up on drugs. Fucking gets on a bus, goes out in Riverside, comes off the bus, starts breaking windows, has a knife, literally telling the cops, "Fucking shoot me," and starts going after him with a knife. He got put down, not killed. They took him down and made sure nothing happened to him or any officer. So when you have fucking 4 guys on one dude, you can't put him in the car. You already have him subdued.
Yeah, why? What was the point of even holding him down so long?
And here's another thing. There's cops like giving more charges anyways for people that they consider assholes. If he gets into that car and he damages the vehicle, we hear it on cops and live PD, all that shit. If you've never, fucked around with a cop or anything like that, it's like damaging government
Property.
property. So they slap another charge on. So obviously they would have wanted that. Most cops want to add time, not fucking kill you. That's the fucked up thing in this whole situation is people are dying over some of the stupidest shit in the world. Over judgment, which yes, it's human nature to judge, but not in a survival stance like that when you've already the guy's on the fucking floor. Even if he ran, where is he gonna run to? He fucked his knee up and the cops knew his knee was fucked up.
Yeah. The fact that the first reaction was just to fire these cops instead of actually arrest them. And I don't want to hear no like, oh, you can't arrest a cop. Yes, you can. I've seen videos of it.
Yes, you can.
And cut your fucking uniform off while you're cuffed. And trust me, this motherfucker would deserved that, like broadcast live, being cuffed in uniform in the station, uniform cut off. You were never coming back. You were going to fucking jail. But no, most of the time they just get administrative leave.
And then they get trauma therapy as well for when they come back.
Yeah, because now they're
fucked up in the head because they knew they made a fatal decision.
Yeah, and like I said, most of the situations, not justifying any of them, but most of them, they're split second situations. Like I said, a gunshot.
Communication.
A gunshot is a split second situation. You know what I mean?
All it takes is barely touching the trigger to accidentally have it go off.
Yeah,
and this wasn't that though. This was full blown knowing you. Like, here's the thing that pissed me off is they gave him involuntary manslaughter on top of second degree murder, which is fucking. It comes down to the essentials of involuntary murder. Bull fucking shit, dude. If you're on someone's neck for 10 minutes, that's not involuntary murder.
You know, it's weird. People always talk about The Simpsons predicting things, but Spike Lee predicted this probably by seeing it happen before. But if you ever watch the movie Do the Right Thing, spoiler alert, it ends almost exactly the same fucking way. Cop comes in, starts choking black dude until he fucking dies, and they still make sure to cuff him and throw him in the back seat. And then what happens next? Riot. Now, I'm not condoning or justifying destroying your own community. That proves nothing. I've said that before, and I'll always stand by that part. Yeah, it's after a while, though, what they don't get, like, again, I'm not condoning any of the violent acts, you know what I mean? The peaceful protests, you know what I mean? This inversion, in a way, is a peaceful protest, but we're even just us talking about it. But I don't condone it, but I understand where the anger is coming from. Because it's too many times it's happening like this.
And it's not like you can just put a whole group of people in fucking anger management all at once.
No.
Because realistically, let's be real, dude. When shit happened if you want to put it on like even a race thing, when shit happened to white people, guess what? British didn't like us, wanted to tax us. We didn't like it. We fought the fuck back. And all it took was one of our people getting shot in Concord.
And it's weird too, just like you guys remember the lady cop that walked into the guy's apartment because she thought it was her apartment, off duty, shoots him, and the first thing everybody said was, well, he should have complied, she's a police officer.
Yeah, so it's one of those that's what's fucked up is when you do look at it from cops are killing everyone, then it turns into like you're not looking at it from specific races or anything, but at the same time it happens to just be more fucked up because like you were saying, if a white dude gets shot by a cop, he's usually on drugs or some sort of situation where
half the time that's where you get suicide by cop. And he has to do a lot. He has to actually shoot one of the cops to get them to shoot back.
Because when you go through the book, everything is fucking that's the last resort, or what's supposed to be the last resort is putting someone, even the suspect's life in danger.
I've always wondered that. What is the point of the police having access to all these non-lethal ways of subduing a human being and using none of them, going straight for the death one? There's no warning shots. There's no leg shots. Most of the gunshots, they're going right to the heart and the head. These people are getting killed instantly most of the time. It's
Oh, and the people that they're not shooting, they're fucking tasing them to death.
yeah. It's and although yes, at times it seems like black people are just being hunted by police, even though we know not all cops are like that. But no, at a certain point, it's not even just about race. These are the people that are supposed to. What does it say on all their goddamn cars? Protect and to serve. And I've never believed in the serve part, even though I consider that more of like a serving your country type of thing, or serving your community type of thing.
Yeah.
Not like bring me another iced tea, bitch. Although maybe if cops just went around bringing iced tea to people instead of shooting them and murdering them in the streets.
That's the fucked up thing. There is cops that do that, and that's
Yeah.
one of those like. So
They
there
ruin-
is good people.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. There are plenty, and we've seen through a lot of these protests. I'm seeing the constant pictures of police kneeling down and standing with their communities and shit. Not out here. They're more like, okay, get ready for a war zone.
Well, that's not fair because they bought all that riot gear last year for all the drug busts. That's where those freaking anti-personnel. By the way, guys, Hemet's finally on the map.
Yeah,
Not for the good reasons.
never.
But yeah, they got riot shit and they started using it because they're all trigger happy. Not gun happy. Don't want to say
Yeah.
that. Just like they want to use the shit that they're paying a fuckload of money for.
Yeah, and let's be real. Most of these riots are being incited by people that aren't even part of the protests.
Yeah,
They're a quarter. What was I saying? They're a quarter mile behind the protests, breaking windows and starting fires because they're using there's opportunists on both sides, and that's what's the most fucked up thing. Because there's also the opportunistic cops that see a large crowd gathering and shit. They know all they have to do is say one of them threw a water balloon at them or something, and
boom,
rubber
it's
bullet to the
arrest.
face.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say, little child? Mace.
See, and the thing is fucking.
By the way, rubber bullets and mace would have both been more acceptable than kneeling on somebody's fucking neck.
Yeah, dude, because it's gonna put you down.
Yeah.
Not death wise either. Just make sure you're on the floor.
It's I don't know. It's weird. It's like unprovoked attacks and shit, and it's at a certain point it's gotta stop. There's gotta. It's not even that it's gotta stop. We can't stop police brutality, but there needs to be consequences.
Like hefty consequences, not fucking you'll get 2 years in the pen and then get let off with probation for fucking 10 years and you don't get to be a cop anymore.
And that's what's fucked up is that's like the minimum that we can hope for most of the time, and that's not enough. And half the time, that's not even what happens. They get administrative leave for a month. They get paid leave. Then they come back and get to, at best, they get transferred to another city.
Just so because that city already knows
Yeah.
that they're gonna fucking shoot you.
And that's sad too, that cops get run out of, the cops are transferring to other cities just because they killed somebody. Sometimes on accident, and it's not always just, but there has to be consequences. We can't keep treating it like it's just it's not like someone fighting a ticket in court. George Floyd can't, there was no fighting.
Believe me, I understand that cops can't be perfect because no one's perfect, but they shouldn't be able to be that fucked up. They shouldn't be able to actually sit there and, like you're saying, get administrative leave for, even just shooting someone. Like, that's some serious shit.
Look at that what was it, something Zimmerman, the guy that shot Trayvon Martin. He tried to sue Trayvon Martin's family for his emotional distress or whatever.
Because he was getting life threats or death threats. There you go. Life threats, completely opposite.
Yeah. I'm trying not to go
we can
off
cut
onto
that part
one.
because
that's going to be the next one we record right now. But So I guess in closing, it's stay safe out there. First of all, protesting, keep it peaceful, please, because they're already treating us like animals. I'm not just talking about black people either. Like in this situation with us, they're people in general. If they already want to treat us like animals. The more we act like it, the tighter that grip will get as far as them treating us like animals. But like the only good I can say is there is a lot of unity going around right now, which I guess we do need more of.
See, that's the one thing that I can say compared to any other protests that I've seen pictures of or anything. Yeah, there was people who walked with, Martin Luther King, but not on this extent of white people and black people actually getting together. Because this is an atrocity to humans, not just to one person. Like,
and this is globally. Countries where this debt has no effect on them, they're standing up. And again, like I said, because this wasn't just a split second accidental murder. This was a blatant fucking, even if he didn't actually intend on killing George Floyd, which I would even almost give him the benefit of the doubt that wasn't fully his intention, was to actually murder somebody. But when everybody's telling you, hey, dude, let your fucking knee off his neck, he's not going anywhere. He can't even breathe.
When people are telling you check his pulse,
they shouldn't have to say that.
As simple as check. They're supposed to be somewhat certified EMTs in a way. They're first responders, so they should have some basic form of nurse education. I don't fucking know, but either way, they know how to check a fucking pulse, dude. Every cop knows how to check a pulse. It takes 2 seconds to just make sure that someone's okay. The second they're unresponsive completely, get them fucking worked on. Yeah, don't sit there.
Instead of doing that, they were more focused on just keeping people away. And like I said, that shit-eating grin on that cop's face, and I won't even say his name because he doesn't deserve a name anymore.
That motherfucker wiggled his knee when homeboy went limp. Wiggled it.
Yeah, he made sure and on that one, he felt that body go limp.
Yeah.
I don't care if he was on the... He felt that man go limp.
Everyone's had to carry home a drunk friend. If you haven't, or something like that, if you want to know what a body feels like limp, it's drunk friend. Imagine that. Like, everyone knows that feeling once you're over a certain age, having to carry this.
Like, I had a white friend that was like, well, what? I don't know why people are still protesting. They already arrested the cop. Like, there were 4 cops involved. They might have got fired, but they need to all... Everybody needs to be held accountable in this situation.
If you're doing a drug deal and I'm in the car and a cop pulls up on us, I get fucking guilty by association. Why the fuck did those cops not get at least guilty by association at the very minimum?
Exactly. Oh, fire them so they have time to run away. I don't know. It's one of the... I think it's because also... we all know what it's like. It's easy for some people to sit there and say like, oh, if I'd have been there, I would have fucking pushed that cop up. No, you wouldn't have. Most of us wouldn't have.
No one wants to get shot by the cop.
No one wants to get hit with a billy club just for and especially because there was already a number of cops. And that feeling of helplessness that the people in that tape were feeling, screaming out, dude, check his fucking pulse. Let your knee off just a little bit. Let your knee off his neck for a second.
All bullshit right there.
I don't know. It's
and then on top of it, with everyone that's seen the video, those are the moments. We're old enough to remember when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Think of how America felt just about a terrorist attack. This was a at home pretty much terrorist attack in a way.
Which is the one that we always try to ignore. Think about it. When back to that 4 years ago, man takes a knee to raise awareness about a problem on our fucking home front. And the first thing we did was try to cry about war. About foreign affairs. And I'm not saying, obviously I have no disrespect for the troops. We already have said that shit. That's obvious. Taking a knee is you take a knee to propose. You take a knee out of respect when your coach says gather up. You take a knee when you pray. Well, you can.
You get on both knees when you pray.
Who said that you have to stand up to fucking appreciate your fucking country? But I guess in closing, well, again, stay safe and
Prayers to be with everyone, I guess.
yeah,
on that point.
justice for George Floyd. Well, we'll see you in a couple days.